So have I.
There better not be like 5 streams turning up now.
Yee! More the merrier.
Live.
We're live. You can share it.
So is that
Has
live
it
in
come up on my Facebook yet?
YouTube?
It's a good meatloaf picture, that, Dan, isn't it? I see you've got that for the. There are 2 lives. Hang on, let me remove one.
Is there?
There's 2
Yeah.
lives.
YouTube,
You know,
watch live.
Let me remove that. Fresh.
Oh, come and join us. Have an interesting chat with Ella from Keto Fitness Club. So yes, I can see that on my Facebook.
Cool.
That's what I wrote.
We're
No, I
having
haven't.
trouble streaming to Facebook.
All right, I'm just sharing it across.
We got 10 watching already, so we better say hi. Gemma, over to you.
Hi.
Hi, everyone.
Have we? It only says 1 on our thing.
Oh, I got 12 watching.
Wow.
Yeah, 12, yeah.
Oh.
Mine's saying it's not live on Facebook.
Yeah, I don't
It's
think
okay. It's because I've removed one of the streams, but it's still there.
Okay.
Now we
Hello,
know what happens
everybody.
when people click live.
We're so organised, aren't we, and professional doing this?
So, are we done? Are we ready?
I'm just checking YouTube to make sure there's not a duplicate
I've got a
there.
notification that's live.
I've got nothing coming up on my StreamYard to say anyone's watching. Oh, that's because the Facebook thing isn't working. Oh.
No, it's not telling us live views on. Will that mean we
Hi,
won't get the
Yvonne.
comment?
Hi,
Okay.
Julie.
Hi,
Did it just
Julie.
come up?
Right.
Yes.
So, but is that mean can someone who's on Facebook say hi so we can see if the Facebook's coming up?
Yvonne Hill has waved and Kathy Wilson have said good evening. I can
Okay,
see
but-
that live on Facebook, but it's not on you.
It's not on our.
Yeah, it's not
StreamYard.
on me.
Sorry, guys, technical issue.
Yeah, I think that's just happened. I'll keep the Facebook live up here.
Okay,
Sorry.
so we can see. So we won't be able to see.
Kathy's just said hi again. So yeah. So if I watch a Facebook then and see any
And
questions.
see any questions on there?
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah,
Tracy.
okay.
Excellent. So, good evening, everybody. This Wednesday evening. So our special guest on Couch Time this week is the wonderful Ella. Yay!
Hello.
So obviously you all know Ella. If you don't know Ella, she's
Where have
the
you
real
been?
boss. Yeah, she's basically the real boss. Everyone thinks Mark. Nah, it's Ella. And Ella controls Mark. So we decided that we wanted Ella to be on Couch Time because it's always Ella and Mark. Everything is Ella and Mark, and we feel a bit sorry for Ella sometimes. So we said to her, we don't want your dad. We don't want him on Couch Time. We want you, just you, and we can talk about you, Ella, and not Ella and Mark.
Plus,
So-
some
No
people
pressure on the poor girl, Gemma. No pressure.
So welcome, Ella.
Thank you for welcoming me into my own StreamYard account.
Christine says hi, and Janice says hi as well. Evening.
Hello.
Evening, hi all. So, Ella, we know your story from your dad's perspective of why he started following the keto way of living,
Mhm.
and we know that you sort of started with, I think, wasn't it the granola bars or something that you used to take to school?
Yeah, well, we switched out like cereals for the pancakes and the desserts that we'd get from Sainsbury's bakery to homemade ones. So it started with the sweet stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
They were the easy switches.
And then, so when did you have, this is Tracy's word, when did you have your light bulb moment that actually following this lifestyle is going to be the best for you?
I don't really have a specific point. It was very, very slow for me, and for the first couple of months, it was absolute hell. because I don't deal well with change in food, especially when I was 13. I was very picky. I was very sort of regimented on what I ate. And then when I started changing, I found that nothing really stuck. Everything made me feel ill because I just wasn't used to real food as much as I was then trying to switch to. But I think there was a point where I just sort of realized how much better I felt, once I'd got past that stage, how much better I felt sort of cooking my own food and sort of making my own lunches. And yeah, it was a very gradual thing, maybe over the course of like 4 months. But yeah, I don't really have a pinpoint moment. For Dad, it was literally like, right, okay, I'm going keto today. And that was it. He never changed his ways since.
Your dad is very much like that, though, isn't there? There's a decision, and we're doing it. That's it.
It didn't help that he had a marathon in like 12 weeks or something from when he changed. So there was no option of error. It was, right, I've got to go all in because I can't mess this up. Whereas me, I was just like, okay, I'll start changing little things here and there and see what happens.
Oh, I never knew it was so that in a marathon that close to changing over to a keto lifestyle.
Yeah, so we went to Turkey in like mid-October of 2017, maybe late October, and by probably end of January he was running up to 20 miles ready for the Barcelona marathon the end of February.
Wow.
I think so, maybe 4 months between starting keto and doing the first marathon, but maybe no more than like 12 weeks until he started doing some proper distance.
Well, your dad is watching now, okay? So just in case
Is
this
he?
is the opportunity to say something. Yes, he's watching on Facebook. Hi, boss.
So, question that we ask all our guests is, what's your favourite keto fitness dish? I have jumped ahead. Normally we talk more about how you met, how you joined Keto Fitness Club and stuff, but I'm just really interested. So out of all the dishes, what's your favourite?
I go through phases. So right now I basically have a shakshuka style breakfast every single day. That's just but in terms of, I'd probably say pancakes because that was the first recipe I did and it was one of the most consistent ones for the first couple of years. It was really quick and easy. I could take them into school with me as well. So yeah, probably them. And it's my recipe.
So
Nice.
when you say you have like a shakshuka type thing for breakfast, do you actually have breakfast at the time that pre this lifestyle we all knew sort of was breakfast, like in the morning, or do you?
Well, yeah, I mean, even before keto, I never ate breakfast apart from on school days where I had to eat at 7 or there was no breakfast. When I could eat when I wanted, I would naturally eat breakfast about 10, half 10. Now probably about 11ish. That's just natural 11 and then a snack in mid-afternoon and then dinner. That's sort of the typical routine, but it does change every day depending. Like today, I didn't get back until 12:30, so that was when it was.
So in your eyes, how did Keto Fitness Club start?
On a snow day. It's our phrase. So we had been like playing around with keto recipes for a couple of months. And then one day we decided to take Kaji for a walk and it was snowing and we decided to drive him to a local park like 10 minutes away, just so we could have a nice run around there. But we didn't see a old lamppost stump underneath the snow. Drove straight over it, wrecked the car, towed home, stuck in the house for the rest of the day. And I think the following day as well, the car was in repair. And over that short period, we came up with the plan of what we were going to do. So, okay, we'll build a website, we'll make the recipes into something that people can access, and we'll start. I mean, it was very different plan to what it is now, but that was the start plan. Otherwise, it would have probably just stayed as Dad posting on his own Facebook page.
Excellent.
So who came up with the Running Man logo? I take it was our dad because of his marathon training?
Yeah, so it's based on Dad's sort of, because obviously that's why he started keto in the first place. But David Souza designed the logo for us. That was in April of 2018. And it's had one revamp since then, but it stayed the same sort of, Running Man with the words in front of it. We do have some variations now for the merch, but yeah, it was David Souza, who you might know from Festival as well.
We should
His
invite him on
photography.
as a guest, I think.
I was just thinking that when she said that, yeah, because he lives a low carb lifestyle, doesn't he now?
Yes.
Yeah, and he's been around since the very beginning. He's joined us at expos. He's helped us design logos and old banners. He's been a great help.
Who came up with the name?
I think that was me and Dad. We were playing around with a few different ideas, some of which have now been used by newer brands, which is quite fun. But I don't know where it came from. It just it got written on the whiteboard and then it stuck, and that's it's just not changed since then.
I like the abbreviation. It's quite funny for what it stands for.
Well, and
Yeah.
I was actually going to say, Tracy, about abbreviations. So all the books are abbreviations to naughty words. But so where did that idea come from?
That was, we were doing a cooking class in a local kitchen that we'd hired out. Maybe 6 people in there that had come to do a little cooking class for the day. And one of the ladies, she tastes one of the dish and she goes, "What the?" And then Dad goes, "No, where's the fat?" And then the book didn't come out until over a year later. But again, it's just one of those things that it just stuck around. It became a little phrase that Dad, I think he still says it in the kicks. And if you're thinking about a meal, where's the fat? And so and then it kind of just made a running joke. Okay, what's the next book gonna be? How can we make that fit?
I remember when we were all sort of working on OMG. It's really hard now, isn't it, to think of any?
I think we'll just leave it as a trilogy.
I think we're going to have to start changing the. If we're ever doing any more books in the future, we're going to have to sort of change the way that we do it. So I think Sue had some questions for you about something particular that you both are getting into.
Well, I'm getting back into. She's well in front. What made you start weightlifting?
So
And who inspired you to do that?
So we started seeing a PT as a family twice a week. This was just before COVID, so it was on and off during the lockdowns. But then we started properly once the last lockdown finished. We've been going weekly ever since. And to start with, it was Darren's typical sort of session where it was a lot of kettlebells, some HIIT, some circuits, some cardio, and then one session we tried deadlifting. And then I was just like, can we do more of that, please? And then now it's turned into every session is a strength-based session because it complements what we do outside, where we'll do some more cardio-based stuff on our own. And when we go to Darren now, it's strength and heavy weightlifting. And it was just something that I really enjoyed. And Dad and Lou were like, yeah, we'll do that as well.
Mm-hmm. And what's your goal to get to by Christmas? Do you have a goal?
So I set goals at the beginning of this year, and then training went completely off the rails between Festival and probably August. So it's kind of been set back. I wanted to reach 100 kilo deadlift, which was ambitious, but it's not something that's going to happen before Christmas now. I'm working up to my old 1 rep maxes at the moment. But yeah, so my goals are still the same. I just don't have a date for them. I'm just working towards them, and I'll figure out a date as and when I get closer to them. I'm too far away.
Gemma,
Sorry, that was me.
I'll get the stuff.
So what other exercise do you do?
So I stick to strength based, but I do some cardio once or twice a week as well, just to sort of mix it up. If I'm not using our little gym at the back of the house, I'll use some dumbbells. in my room. Like right now, Louis' bike is in the gym, so I've been doing dumbbell workouts this week. But I stick to strength training because I'm always wanting to sort of increase the weights, get stronger. It's the form of training I enjoy the most.
Mm-hmm.
And have you ever thought, because I've spoken to a couple of other members that are into weight training, and they're talking about in the future doing competitions and stuff like that. Is that ever a route that you've felt that you'd like to go down?
I don't know. I'm not a very competitive person in the way that I'm not like, oh yeah, I need to enter a competition now to sort of see where I'm at. I'm nowhere near a competition grade, and I mean, some of the PRs for my weight class, I'm like, how on earth do you get to that level? It is insane. But I don't know. I've not got any sort of goals for it. But if something appears in the future, then maybe. But yeah, it's not something I'm like, right, okay, I need to enter a competition now. It's not a priority at the moment, so I wouldn't be able to dedicate the time to sort of consistently train for that either.
So do you have some healthy competition when you're training on the weekend with your brother and your dad, you know? Because let's be fair, you lift a really good weight, shall we say.
It is funny when I'm doing deadlifts. The other exercises, Dad and Louie are way ahead. You know, I'll bench 25, 30 kilos. They'll double it and do the same reps. But with deadlifts, normally it's me and Dad in the same room. And Dad will do higher reps. I stick to lower reps most of the time. And so my weight just slowly gets closer and closer and closer. And Dad looks over and just chucks on another 5 kilos to try and stay ahead.
It's quite funny actually to watch. It really is. The Mark just stands there looking for you. Shit. Okay. And you can see it going around in his head, and we're just like going, ha ha, busted. She's so way in front of you. But no, it's good to watch, and you do motivate a lot of people and inspire a lot. I mean, you've inspired me to do it. I mean, I remember years ago, I went to a gym, sat on a bench, tried to lift a plain bar, and I couldn't even move it. It was like, no, next.
We don't realise how heavy the bar is until you start training with it.
Yeah. But,
so tell us about your Olympic, is it bar you got?
Yes.
Yeah. So I apologise if anyone's like an actual powerlifter or Olympic weightlifter, because I use an Olympic barbell to do powerlifting moves. I know it's not right, but it's what I have. But I got it. I was very fortunate. I got it for my birthday last year, and it's been in use since then. I've got a set of plates, a barbell, and the gym is just big enough where I can use it for, you know, the gym's like this big and the bar is like maybe a couple of inches spare on either side. So as long as you don't move too much lift, all right, you're fine, and it's easier to deadlift the other way.
I remember the day that you got it and you were opening it, and I don't know if you were on a live or just on a meeting with us, and you were like, how do I do this? How do I do it?
I remember sending photos into the group chat, and so the bar is, I think it's 6 foot, but it comes in a really long tube, and the tube's really thick, so I couldn't cut into it. So you have to open up one end and slide the bar out. That means it's 12 foot. So it was on one end of the gym, and the bar was coming out the door, and I was like trying to get it out. That was funny. But yeah, the hardest thing was getting the plates out of the boxes as well. That was another challenge. But, you know, it was a workout in itself, just unwrapping.
I hope you didn't hear me swear then to do. I did mute.
No?
Apparently the cat, I'm sorry, has pinched my boiled ham off the cooker.
The whole ham?
That's dinner tomorrow gone, sorry. That's not very good, is it, to share on you?
In my house then. Sorry. It's gone.
So how would you describe your style of eating? So obviously you've got Dan who does carnivore, you've got other people that do keto carnivore, or there's all loads of sort of different types of keto out there. What would you describe yours as?
How can I annoy Bob?
Mediterranean would be one way, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't have specific rules. So the keto police would go absolutely nuts at some of the things I eat because it just doesn't fit. But it's still it's high protein, low carb. That's where it fits for me. So it's a decent level of fat, a decent level of protein, and slightly more carbs than your average keto, but maybe 50 grams a day if I have lots of veg.
I think 50
Yeah.
grams and below is technically keto, though, isn't it? And it's 20
It
grams to be
is, yeah.
strict keto, isn't it? Because I was surprised when the advice for low carb is anything under 130 grams a day. You know, that's quite a lot, really, when you think about it. But I suppose it's where you're getting your carbs from that counts. Because, like, you use lots of different veg, don't you?
Yeah, and I don't limit the vegetables. I don't limit. I have some chickpeas occasionally. I have some lentils occasionally. I have some beans pulses. I don't really have starchy carbs. Well, I don't have them at all. We don't have them in the house. Don't use wheat products. I don't use anything like that. I just stick to vegetables, but I'll have more than your standard keto person because that's what works for me. It is funny when I make a batch of hummus and I think, do you know what? That would be absolutely hilarious if you posted that on some keto groups, had some carrot sticks and hummus. I'd go absolutely nuts. But it's a small snack occasionally. But most
you
of my
also
meals are
do higher carb because of the health problems you had.
Yeah, well, so when I was 13, 14, I started down a pretty bad slope of food restriction, which resulted in hormone issues that the doctors tried to help with medication, which didn't work. So I ended up just going clean keto, Mediterranean style keto, to sort of get everything in check again. And since then, it's just kind of evolved. I can be a bit more lax with, I can have a bit more dairy and things like that. But it's spurred from that, and it's just, sometimes I just want a bit more carb, I want a bit more veg. I do like a big bowl of cabbage stir fry. It's one of my favorite meals. Other people might go, oh, that's 15 grams of carbs. Yeah, it's 15 grams of vegetables carbs. So yeah.
So is there anything non-keto that you do eat, or non sort of low carb as we know it, that you would do eat?
Not on a lifestyle basis. Not, there's nothing in the cupboards right now that would be considered not my lifestyle. If I'm going out to eat with my friends, I might choose things that we wouldn't have in the cupboard, but that I don't consider my lifestyle because that is a one meal event. And because I've worked hard to get my relationship with food in check, it doesn't then spiral into meals, plural, of food that isn't going to make me feel good.
So if someone gave you, say, a box of chocolates or something like that as a present because they didn't really sort of know, what would you do with those chocolates? And the only reason I'm asking that is because some people would be, I'll just eat them, and then they're gone and out the way. Some people would give them away and not eat them, and it's just interesting to see what you would do.
Well, me personally, I'd have a couple and then I'd put them in the cupboard, and then a couple of days later I'd remember they're there and have another couple, and they'd probably be there a couple of months later because it's not necessarily something I think about. But I wouldn't be the person to give it away because I would still enjoy them. If I wasn't going to enjoy the chocolates, then I would give them away. But I'm not going to sit here and go, I don't like sugary stuff, because it does still taste nice to me. I know Dad would turn his nose up at it, but I wouldn't. But I would also
like you said, in moderation then, isn't it? If you're only going to have a little bit now and again, then it's going to halt you for a small bit of time. Bloody cat, I know. Yes, coming here to cause havoc now. With the sweet, the chocolate. I just want to tell you that Chelsea said apparently on Facebook, raw carrots apparently good for estrogen balance. So there you go. You can have your raw carrot occasionally.
And I think what's really nice about Keto Fitness Club is we're not saying don't eat it. And like you said, Ella, that there's lots of other keto groups out there that if you were to mention carrots, God, they would kick you out of the group. And I think what's nice is you and your dad are sort of seen as the gurus of the sort of group and stuff, and for you to be totally honest in saying that you wouldn't give them away, you would have one or two. Brilliant. And I think that's what people love about Keto Fitness Club. And
Well, yeah, I mean, when I was 13, 14, I was very, very controlling with my food. Dad, I don't know how he managed to live with me dictating how I would have dinner and lunches, and some of the stuff I would come up with. I want 0.7 of a portion of lamb keema and more rice because I've had too much fat today. I would track everything. And so for me now to be at a point where I can say I would have things that I wouldn't necessarily eat, but not because, I'm trying to force myself to follow certain food rules to be more, open and eating things just because that's what I want to eat or that's what I don't want to eat. The fact that it's not based on numbers anymore, that's a huge achievement for me, and I'm sure it is for a lot of other people. So when someone posts something in the group that is higher carb, I really hope people see that as an achievement for that person because they've made the right decision for them and not sort of trying to stick to food rules. Because if I stuck to a really regimented 20 grams carb lifestyle and excluded vegetables, excluded treats and sweeteners and things, I would be miserable. I would be really controlling over my food, and I would not be a very happy person. So you've got to make it work for you. And if you've got to take into account, some people, their relationship with food is amazing and they've never had to worry about it, and others like me maybe have had some struggles in the past, and you've got to work it out yourself. That's why it looks different for everyone.
Yeah, definitely. And that is, I know a lot of people say it to you all the time, Ella, but that is a really mature way of thinking. And I think sometimes people do forget sort of how young you are, but how mature and business minded you are for someone your age. It is amazing, and how knowledgeable you are as well.
Thank you.
Do you see that in yourself? Do you sort of look at what you do and look at maybe what your friends do and think, blimey, I'm running my own business compared to your friends? Or do you not see it like that? Do you see it as your dad runs the business and you're helping, or do you?
No, I mean, I don't compare myself to my friends and old school friends. Some of them are studying abroad, some of them are still local, some of them are off doing different jobs, and one of them's an ambulance driver now. I mean, I can't compare to anyone who I used to sit in the same classroom with. And in terms of business, I don't see it as one of us running it and one of us as the sidekick. I see it as both of us running different elements of it. The bakery is dad's stuff. The social media is my stuff. So we run those parts. But at the same time, if there is a decision to be made, it's not one person makes the decision and the other one goes along with it. It's if neither of us agree, we find an alternative. So yeah, I mean, I don't get the comment now. Maybe because I just don't speak to the same people now, but there have been times where people have said, especially if we're at like different events several years ago when this was still very, very new, it'd be, oh, so you're helping your dad with his business then? I'm like, yeah, okay. It's not, oh no, actually I run it, and I'm not gonna go say that, but yeah, I don't get the comments anymore.
Good.
Fee says hi on Facebook. She's just saying hi.
Hello.
Hi. So things are changing, obviously, with Keto Fitness Club and the bakery, shall we say. What excites you about what's upcoming with the bakery? Any of the new products? Because I know we've really enjoyed some of the product launches recently as a family. Is there any there that you think excite you, or we are yet to find out about then, shall we say? Any exclusives that we could tease?
Fishing. Just fishing.
I've got no exclusives. But the most exciting thing for me is when I see parcels arrive at doors and I see the stuff, because once it leaves the bakery, then we don't see it again. And then suddenly it appears on someone's doorstep and they're actually enjoying the food, taking photos of what they use, like, different blends in, things like that. That's really exciting to see people enjoying the stuff. I get excited about creative parts, so I get excited about, okay, so let's create a new recipe for this, or a new brand sort of label design for this, and so Dad comes home with a different tray of new. He's constantly experimenting with different recipes, and I'm going, oh, that looks good. That looks good. Can I take a photo of that? Can I put it on the website yet? So yeah,
Ginger
creative
cake,
stuff.
Ginger cake.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's a good idea.
Bea just said she's had her panda supplies arrive this week, so yeah.
Brilliant.
So what is your favourite Ketorama product?
I really like the panda rolls. So it's they've been around for quite a while now, in terms of it's still recent, but longer than some of the other products. I just think they've got such a good crust. I absolutely love them. Toast them, they're so good. Although I do like the sauces as well. The masala sauce in particular is so good.
I was just gonna say, you made the panda wrap lasagna this week, didn't you? What did you think of that?
I think it's great. Yeah, I hadn't tried it before. I think last week I made it the first time, and then obviously made it on a live again this week. It's really, really good.
Yeah, I think Dad really enjoyed it as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
I think they're so versatile, aren't they? And I think that's the brilliant thing with them. One thing that I do love about what you do, Ella, is with your email topics and your little sayings and stuff. So I know that you're excited about the email that went out this morning, and it did make me chuckle when I got it, because you sent it to us last night. So what was it? Remind people what it was.
It was just titled "No Pandas Were Harmed," because I was talking about the panda range. Dad, sometimes we were in a PT, and Dad just opened one of the emails, and he was like, "Is this a GIF?" I was like, "Yeah." It's like, "Did you send this out to our email list?" "Yeah." 7,000 people, yet they have a GIF in their inbox, and it's just because it made me laugh.
Yeah, so. I love a GIF. Do love a GIF. Was that someone coming in your door? Your back door?
No, that is Louis in his motorbike gear going to test it.
Oh, it's fixed, is it?
Yeah, we think so. He's going to go see if it doesn't crash.
So how, tell us of a day in the life of Ella.
Depends on the day. So today, I was at the bakery in the morning, and then this afternoon doing some work on my laptop, boring stuff like switching email lists, and then obviously live. We had a cooking class, so it's either working at the bakery or doing laptop work, so social media, website, labels, stuff like that, or then you've got the members classes and the lives, and the Zooms in the evenings. Sort of rotates around them, but obviously it changes day to day depending on the timetable we have running for the members and when I'm needed in the bakery.
And what was made in cooking class this afternoon?
Cornish style pasties. I actually took them out the Ninja. I forgot about them. We went on a dog walk, and then I took them out the Ninja.
They look good. Did look good.
Yeah, they smell great. So Dad made loads of the mix as well.
Oh, he actually left some, did he?
Oh yeah, yeah. Cornish style pasties.
Oh, wow.
This was he brought home a pack of the panda pastry mix, which isn't on the site yet, but it will be coming soon.
There you go. There's your exclusive, Trace.
Yes. Oh yes, but that isn't. I think I
not yet. A couple of weeks, he said. Patient still.
Yeah, because we hopefully will be launching it as a gluten-free. I mean, there's the exclusive, although we've been talking about it for a while. Gluten-free tests are starting. I don't know if we can say, yes, this is gluten-free now, because obviously we've got to wait for the test, then redo the packaging. But it's in process, and that's very exciting. That's a big leap.
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole reason why we have the second unit. So fingers crossed it works. Worst case scenario, the tests come back. No, it's not gluten free. Oh no!
What can
Have we
you do?
got to
And
find
then
why?
back to the drawing board.
You'll be fine.
Dan, do you have any questions for Ellie? You've been very quiet there.
I'm always I'm one of the quiet ones of the group. Don't you know this? I've actually got a question. If you want to get into weightlifting, what's your top tips? So
Find someone who knows what they're doing. Don't just go into the gym and think I'm going to deadlift today, because you're going to end up hurting yourself or damaging equipment in some way by dropping the plate, or something's going to go wrong. If I hadn't have had Darren in the gym and sort of teaching me through the tutorials, then I wouldn't be weightlifting now, because you've got to learn the technique, especially for the compound lifts.
Failing that, just go around and see Ella. She's a damn good.
As I said,
I've never had so many compliments of half on a Sunday morning. It's like, are you feeling all right?
Yeah, because I can imagine if your form isn't correct when you start to do that, you could definitely damage your lower back and things like that quite easily.
And it's not necessarily when you start you'll injure yourself. It's when you think you can then add more weight on, then you'll start to injure yourself. Because if you then start comparing yourself to, maybe videos you see online. So, I see girls my height, my age, and they're deadlifting almost twice as much as me. That makes me think, oh, maybe I need to increase, more and more and more. That's going to end up in injury, because if I had a PT there, they'd go, you're not capable of that yet. You need to work on this, And if you work on the form, the weight will go up anyway. But it can be very tempting to go, okay, I'll add on another 5 kilos and then another one. And then,
It's only 5 kilos. What's 5 kilos, eh?
So here's a random question for you. Sorry, Dan, I cut you off again. Sorry.
No, that's all right. So, are we ever going to see you do a marathon with Mark? That's what we want to know.
I don't have the attention span to run a marathon.
No,
I don't know how we do. I mean, I've shared my screen a couple of times on lives previously, and I've had messages. Why do you have so many tabs open? It's because I need to work on 3 tasks at once. I need to have a podcast on in the background and something else going on. I can't be running and just listening to one thing. It doesn't work. So I really would not have the attention span. Maybe. I'm not going to roll it out, but I have no intention of training for that anytime soon.
Oh well.
Maybe enough.
At least you're honest.
Sorry, Trace, what was your question?
It's just a random one now. I may set the cat amongst the pigeons, though.
Oh.
I don't know. So, Avengers, with Marvel movies, which is your favorite all-time movie character?
Character?
Or movie, whichever. Because there's lots of them, isn't there?
Yeah. It depends, because if you wanna feel nostalgic, then you go and watch all the Iron Man movies. But if you wanna, the one of the ones that was the best to view in the cinema was the the Infinity Wars and the Endgame. Those 2 were incredible to watch in the cinema. Yeah.
So for people that don't know, Ella, you and your family as a whole are very sort of into Marvel, aren't you? And and that you all like going, and that will be what you would do as a family, is go and watch sort of the newest movie and stuff. So where did that start? How did that all come about?
We went to watch the first Avengers in the cinema, and it got to the part where Hulk throws Loki around by his foot. And that was it was hilarious. We were like, oh, okay, we really like these films. And then we started watching more and more. It took me a little while. I think I was doing my GCSEs, and I decided to watch all of them in chronological order. And that's what got me hooked. And then I've been watching them all, since then. I watch all the TV series and everything like that. And the poor team has to suffer when I come up with random names for projects and things, and it's called like Avengers or Shield or Guardians.
Or I am Groot, something like that. You know,
Yeah,
Spider-Man.
that's our speaker. Yeah.
Yes, yeah. Dan says hi, Keto crew. Dan Flynn, hi, lovely. How are you? No
Hello.
flirting tonight. The boss is you. And V says Iron Man is nostalgic. With the face she's pulling on there. I'm not sure that's what she means.
It's the start of the MCU.
The
Ah.
original.
For some people, that would really go over their heads, Ella.
Yeah,
Sorry,
somebody
the
on
dog is
Facebook have just said
crazy.
that makes her feel old. Bless you.
Sorry.
On Facebook, I'm
Oh.
just checking Facebook as well, Ella. Kathy Wilton is a bit upset because she's never got an email with a GIF in it. So she
Oh.
wants
It
a
has
GIF
it
email.
has been a little while since I've sent one with a GIF.
I think you know what the next email's got to have in it.
Yeah, I'll make sure the next email has a GIF in it.
Especially with our favourite time of year coming up, you know, there's plenty of gifts around for that, isn't there?
Oh, I have
Yeah,
loads of
Halloween.
Grinch ones.
Halloween first, please.
Oh, fair enough.
No, I'll get my Grinch gift bank set. I have quite a few of them.
But that's for your dad more. You can't take on your dad's views of Christmas. You quite like Christmas, don't you?
I like Christmas, but I love. We always watch the Grinch movie, the Jim Carrey one, every year. So I love that film. It's great.
Oh, okay.
Ethan loves it.
Yeah,
Well,
I
you
thought you
do
were
like
saying
it
it
as
because
well.
your dad is a bit of a Grinch when it comes to Christmas.
No, Ella likes
Oh,
Christmas. Ella
Mark,
got
no
the Christmas tree.
Grinch.
Well, I was going to say Ella isn't because we get good Christmas presents from Ella. And I know that it says
all of
Ella.
them.
It says Ella, Mark, and Louis, but we know it's from Ella.
Don't be silly. I always put Mark first.
Yeah, sorry, Mark, Ella, and Louis. Yeah.
So Deb said it's 10 weeks till Christmas. Oh.
I
It
know,
is.
I know.
Actually, it's 9 weeks on Sunday. There you go.
No,
Mark did ask me how many sleeps when we were in Kick last week, wasn't he? You know, and I did
Yeah.
know I should check my app. But I won't. I'm known as the member who counts the sleeps, but I don't post the Christmas countdown because not everybody is a fan of the Christmas countdown.
Oh,
Don't know
Especially
why
no-
myself. But you
I
know,
think-
after half term, Christmas is coming.
I think it's
I've
more.
got a friend who put a tree up in summer if she could.
Well, yeah. Well, I always notice it's people that have birthdays in November or beginning of December, Chris, that don't like Christmas until after the birthdays. That's what.
Louis' birthday's the 1st of November, and then after that, we can put the tree up.
Yeah.
So my tree's up always early, but Boxing
What?
Day it's down. Yeah.
You have your tree up for 2 months.
Well, if I did that, we'd only have the Christmas tree up for a day because Lee's Christmas Eve.
I've got a friend
There
who
you go.
used to do that with
I
her
would go with
child.
that. I would go with that.
Point.
Anyway, this is Ella. This isn't Christmas.
Yes, sorry, we digress. But Ella did buy a Christmas tree last year, didn't you, Ella?
It's still down here.
Oh, no.
So we got. Well, yeah, so we got a little Christmas tree because we haven't trusted Coco with a full-size one yet. Although I do want to get I think we've got a full-size one. It's just not seen the light of day since before Coco. So we got a little one. Outside. Sorry. Louis just gone out on the bike, not Archie. And now they've both started getting all
No,
hyper.
I'd like to see Archie on the back of the bike.
With a little helmet and goggles.
Oh, talking of bikes. So now that they've both got their bikes, so Louis and Mark have got their bikes, it means that you've got the keys to the car. How are you finding driving?
I've driven every single day this week, and every single journey has involved at some point picking up or dropping off Louis.
That's what happens
So-
when these bike breaks.
Mm.
It's great because I love to help out at the bakery, and so it means I can drive over there without sort of Dad driving back to then pick me up. but I've had to pay for fuel twice in the last week, so that's not fun.
No, that's not fun.
No, it's not.
Did you not get a text
we-
from your brother asking where you was because you was 3 minutes late? You thought you crashed or something.
So, I mean, it's a joke. So that's our kind of humour when we message each other. So Louis asking where I am is, he just messaged saying, have you crashed? I was meant to pick him up at 3, and it was 3 minutes past 3, and he hadn't heard from me. And so he texted me, and then he started to phone me, and I said, logic says if I haven't responded, I'm probably still driving. If I've crashed, I probably will respond, and I probably would have rang you first. But yeah, so that was yesterday or the day before. I can't remember.
How old's Louis?
17.
So is he going to learn to drive?
He's got his bike. He won't learn to drive a car until he's
That's what I mean. He doesn't want to do a car.
No. So he has got a new test coming up soon, which will allow him to take off his L plates and take a passenger. So.
Okay.
Oh, and I know who will be on the back of his
Yeah,
bike.
we know who
then.
that passenger is. Begins with an O.
Aww.
Oh, what is it to be young and in love?
Actually, talking about that though, does
You
did
can't
you?
ask that question.
No, I'm not going to ask a question about her
You
love
can't say
life.
if they've been missed
I'm not asking that. That's bless her. But when you do meet new people, and so like your brother met his girlfriend and everything, do they think it's a bit weird the lifestyle that you've chosen?
I don't know. I mean, Louis a bit weird anyway, so I think Olivia knew what she wasn't expecting a normal house. But sorry, V's just said, "Is that Coco's tail? That tail movement would make a good GIF." Now I'm gonna see how I can make a GIF out of the dogs. I don't know how to do that, but I'll make that my mission. No, I don't really know. I mean, maybe they see us as eating healthier because there's a lot of vegetables, but we don't give anything labels, so it's just food.
It's interesting you say that because I had a meal out on the weekend and it was a steak and I asked to add egg to it, so I'd take the chips away. And when the waitress brought it to the table, she said, "Oh, you got a really lovely, healthy looking meal there." So, maybe healthy is the way forward to look at it like, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I know you messaged me the other day and you're quite jealous. I'm gonna get a big head here. Where I'm going on the weekend. Have
but
you?
you're going to come back broke.
I am going to come back broke, very much so. Have you been abroad whilst doing this lifestyle?
Last time I was abroad was Barcelona, and that was the very beginning of keto. So technically, no, because I wouldn't class that as. I mean, my lifestyle then is very different to how it is now. Yeah, I don't have a passport, so I've definitely not been abroad anytime recently.
Now that's something you should invest in. Get a passport, and then we can have a girlies trip to Ibiza.
Sorry, Dan. I
With
didn't
their
know.
face.
Oh, with Lisa's place.
With Lisa, yeah,
With
girly
Lisa's
trip.
place.
But then I suppose Dan and Chris could be,
Girls, you could be girls for the weekend.
You could be queens for the trip.
Look, can I just say, it's Lisa's place. She
Yeah,
goes
Lisa's got to come.
there regularly.
No, but we don't have to stay at Lisa's place. We can go and stay in a hotel, close by Lisa's place.
No, we'll stay at Lisa's.
No, we're staying at Lisa's.
You could go to a hotel. We're all staying at
Well, I
Lisa's.
am. You go where you want.
Is Lisa watching this? Lisa's probably thinking, what?
How dare they organise a holiday whilst on live?
So, has everybody else got any other questions for Ella? Seeing what the time is.
Oh, now Dan is just asking, and now I'd love to see that trip. Now, what trip is he talking about? Yours to New York or Our Ladies trip?
Oh, I
to
think the
Ibiza?
ladies one is
I
his.
think
I think he's talking about the ladies one.
Mm.
Dan, have you got? You sound like you're about to say something, Dan.
I haven't got a question, but I just want to say thank you for everything what you've done,
Yeah.
Ella, over the years.
You're very welcome.
Definitely wouldn't be where we are without you. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
And, well,
didn't-
and likewise.
You didn't book that dodgy place in Gateshead for the kick, then we wouldn't be here this night.
Yeah, some of the old couch to keto workshops were quite weird
Interesting.
places.
Do you
Interesting.
miss not going out and about like that anymore?
Yeah, that was really fun. But it did take up entire days, so it's not feasible with our current lifestyle. But hopefully,
Do you
in the
think it'd be
future,
something that you would both bring back?
I think if we could, if the opportunity sort of presents itself, and suddenly we've got maybe a few extra staff at the bakery, and sort of there's less stress on us being there, pretty much 24/7, on call, then yeah, because it would be great. We love meeting people, and those workshops, although by the end of the day you're exhausted because obviously you spent hours and hours talking, you're also really energized from talking to everyone and sort of seeing different stories. Yeah, that
And
would be
that's what
fun.
we get from the members meetups that we do locally to where we live, and it is nice to be face to face. And Kesteval has got to be our biggest face to face group members meetup. Although we've had lovely people join us for the day then who have become members. And in last Kesteval, I remember somebody running across the field going to me, Tracy, and I was like, you're not a member, but they've seen us on here, and you get to talk, and it's absolutely lovely, like, isn't it? Face to face. So hopefully, I know I'm not going to swear at you and ask you about Kesteval next year, promise. Because let's get Christmas out of the way first.
There's a lot to happen between now and then.
And we hopefully have got a couple of members meet up anyway to give people the opportunity to meet face to face. Hello, Gemma's off to America, so you have to. Now, Gemma, you need a challenge because I had a challenge to wear my T-shirt and drink coffee in Times Square wearing llama leggings and Keto Fitness Club T-shirts. So
Yeah.
we need to set you a challenge now.
Not involving llama leggings though.
Oh,
No.
But I will take Rosie. I think's packed her top as well, so I'm happy to take a top, but not llama leggings. No disrespect
What
to
about
llama
your Cat
leggings.
Slater ones?
I've got my Cat Slater top on today.
We did notice that, yeah.
Sorry, we're taking this away from Ella again.
we are again.
Sorry.
And I gotta say thank you to you, Ella, for everything that you brought into my life as well, and my family. And you lead the way for the younger generation. And I wish I had known this years ago to pass on, but it's not too late because my grown-up children, who are your age bracket, shall we say, because I'm an old lady now,
Get lost. You're younger
you
than me.
you lead
You're
the way.
spring chicken.
Oh God.
Okay.
So sorry. Hope I didn't embarrass you, but you do lead the way.
Well, thank
dear.
you, because I mean, we as in me and Dad, and basically the whole groups and everything, it wouldn't be as it is if we didn't have your help as well. And I hope you know that we're very grateful for everything you do, because there is only so much we can do, and so having you there to help us, it makes a world of difference.
Helen has
it's all
said
fine.
on Helen. How do you say Helen's last name?
Bouchard.
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 Yes, I want to get it right because we are good friends, and she says that you're great and thanks for everything you do. Finding this group has changed her lifestyle forever, and she's made new friends forever. And I think that's echoed through the group time and time again about the family community, and the love in this group is phenomenal, and the friendships, treasured moments, treasured memories, and full of blessings are in this group. Sorry, I had to take it there, Ella.
You did.
But it is
Yeah.
You're very right.
It's
It's true, though,
a
yeah,
brilliant group, and there's ups and downs like there is in lots of groups and stuff, but it's been made bigger and bigger and bigger, and that is due to you and your dad. So yay, many more years.
Lots of kutches, lots of kutches.
So, Sue, have you got any last words before you fall asleep?
That's so rude.
No,
She
only
got-
because
She got 35 minutes yet.
Exactly. It's not even 8:30, missus. Come on.
So I'm ready for bed. I'm
Keep
shattered.
doing what you're doing, mate. That's all I'm going to say.
If we could have one guest on here, Ella, who would you like to see on here? If there was one guest.
Not Father Christmas, Tracy.
Really? You spoilt it now. He's going to be our special guest Christmas week.
No,
We've
he
spoilt
wasn't.
it.
Everybody, he wasn't.
He's not. He's not.
It's not true.
Actually, it's the idea of Santa and Father Christmas, Dan, that lives on. You think
Yes,
Good
about
luck
it
getting an
now.
idea to log on to a live.
Hmm.
That'd be interesting.
Who? Oh.
I said an idea. Good luck getting an idea to log on.
I'm sure I could find Santa.
Right, Ella.
There's
Who
Tracy's.
would you like to see on here?
No, I like. I mean, I see some of your plans for future episodes. I really like when we can get members just of the community, of the wider group, the members group, wherever they are, because as much as the more well-known guests are great. If like doctors, other business owners, they're fantastic because it's great to sort of collaborate with everyone. It's also really interesting to just hear the stories from people that are just in the groups and just following this, and it's why we did the face-to-face events. It's why we do the kicks. It's why we do the members Zooms. So it's nice to bring them on and just ask them questions if they're happy to do it.
There you go. So if anyone does want to come on one of these with us
Share your
please
story.
message us. Yeah, and
We promise to be gentle and kind.
And let you talk.
Yes.
Helen said, I thought Santa was going to be guest in December.
Oh,
So
no.
disappointed.
no.
No, he's not. He's too busy, Helen. You should know that.
I might send him a special letter, a special request.
Well, I think you might find he'll be. I'll see you in January.
Okay. That might
But
be
he's
good too.
sleeping then.
Ivana said, who's one of our, I would say, newer members. She
Yep.
says, been really inspiring listening to you, Ella. You're a very level-headed and grounded young lady. And V says, one of the best parts of this is that you are also involved directly with normal folk. There's
We're not
nothing
normal,
normal
V.
about me. I know that
Who's
much, you know.
normal?
We're not
We're not.
normal.
Yeah.
We don't know normal.
Dr. Michael Mosley, Dan is saying about.
That would be a good one. There you
That
go,
would be
Tracy.
interesting, wouldn't it? So,
We shall see.
So
Helen said
brilliant.
we can have it in January. Get Santa in January.
No Santa to couch time.
no.
Tracy,
I think
can have it in one of her cooches. In your keto cooch, you can have it.
you really are missing an opportunity by not having Santa on. That's all I'm going to say.
Busy in December. It's his busiest month of the year.
And then he's on
No.
holiday in January. So
No, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
His
no.
elves are busy. Santa only works on Christmas night. He got his elves doing the work beforehand.
anyway, let's stop
He's
this
got
now.
health and safety to look after.
And Ella, thank you so much. You
Yeah,
are a
thanks.
little superstar, and we love
Thank
you.
you, dear.
Bless the
Thank
Lord.
you.
All right. Thank
This
you,
has been
everyone.
awesome. So
Thank
see you in a
everyone for
fortnight,
watching.
guys.
And we've got Dan.
With
Mr.
a
Carnivore.
It's me in 2 weeks, yeah.
It's you in
Yes.
2 weeks,
That'll be
Dan, and we're
fun.
going to be talking all things carnivore, and there may
All
be
things
some
meat.
other members that are living the carnivore lifestyle that we might ask if they want to come on as well.
Definitely.
So carnivore special.
Fantastic. So not carrots and hummus then.
No
Not
carrots
that
in there.
night.
No. Who
Not
eats
that
carrots
night.
and hummus?
Steak and
Oh my
chicken.
God.
Steak and eggs.
Steak and eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Thank you all so
I'll be
much.
impressed.
And we'll